If you're following the story that I've been telling you about with my wife and I selling a piece of property, here is the final conclusion. To summarize everything, we listed the property, somebody made us an offer, we countered the offer. The only thing that held us up was the buyer's agent commission. So now let's get into some details. All right, so we saw this before. The offer price was $250. They offered us $240. They're doing conventional financing. They gave us a loan commitment timeline of 21 days. We countered with 14 days. Taking a property off the market for 21 days for a loan commitment is a very long time. They already gave us a pre-qualification, which I know is not a pre-approval in some people's language. But if they gave a pre-approval or a pre-qualification letter, they have a full file or close to it on this borrower. So getting a loan docs out and getting a loan approval within 14 days is no problem. I am a lender. I do it all the time. Financing and appraisal contingency. Appraisals take 3 to 4 days max. So getting an appraisal contingency in 21 days, absurd. 14 days, we gave them that option. Earnest money, less than 1%. You got to get at least 1%, get some skin in the game. So we countered that $1,500. They wanted to use their title company. I didn't care. Last part down here. Seller paid buyer's agent commission 3%. Let's make it happen. So I'm with you. I wanted to make it happen, but I agreed in my listing that I was giving the buyer's agent 2%. My agent was willing to list the property for 1% because he wanted to earn our business. I can go to any agent I want to and negotiate the fees. I did a good job negotiating the fees on my side with my agent. Now the buyer came along and said that they agreed to pay their agent 3%, but they kicked that back to me. So now it became my problem. You see how that works? So I agreed to pay 2%. They wanted 3%. They wanted me to increase mine to 3%. I didn't want to pay 3%. If I did, I would have put that on my listing. I agreed to 2%. This whole process is going back and forth over days. This isn't 15-minute emails. This is an email, a text one day and not hearing back till the next day. So then the next day we get this message. My agent sends them a text, sends them an email. What's going on? We haven't heard from you. So this is the message from the buyer's agent. Literally just responded, but they won't do the 2% buyer agent commission. They will only do 2.5%. All other terms are acceptable. So they won't do the 2%. That means that the buyer had to pay the difference between what I was paying and the buyer. If not, why would the buyer have any involvement in this? If the agent was willing to lower it to 2%, he would not have went back to his buyer. But what happened was he went back to the buyer.